starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Dropcast. The Drop Zone, the Drop Zone podcast. Yeah, we'll learn how to talk again sometime today.
Mhm.
We was off last week. Jeff needed some rest. I was in the hospital, but as you can see, we're back again at it this week. Already creating bloopers.
Yep.
So, how are you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. That's all that we know how to do. Is just do bloopers. It's all right. I can't talk sometimes. You can't talk sometimes. That's just us. But yeah, other than that, I'm doing good. I'm glad to see and hear that you're doing a lot better than what you were doing. Um, yeah, I'm just glad and happy to be back with you again.
Yeah, it's feel good. So, what we got going on for the docket today?
All the crazy NFL playoffs are another round in. We're not going to talk about the first round because obviously everybody knows already what happened. Steelers got their asses beat. I'm not even going to go on a rant about that one. That's just not even worth it no more. Um, and we got the divisional round of the playoffs. We got the coaching carousel, is what everyone calls it, of all these coaches getting hired and fired. And then we're gonna predict the conference championship games for next week and who we think are going to make it to the Super Bowl.
I got a few takes on this coaching carousel bullshit.
hmm Yeah, so we're going to get right into it. And the first game that had the coaching implications was the Bills and Broncos game. This was a very thrilling game this weekend. Um, Josh Allen was he had a lot of turnovers. He had 4 turnovers, 5 total for the Bills, and James Cook had a fumble as well. But Josh Allen went 25 for 30 and 283 and 3 touchdowns, along with the 2 interceptions. He had 66 rushing yards and 2 fumbles. James Cook had a good game, 24 carries for 117 yards, but he also, like I said, had a fumble. Dalton Kincaid caught a touchdown, and Keon Coleman and Mecole Hardman got a touchdown each for the Bills. Now, the Broncos won, but at what cost? Bo Nix went 26 for 46, 279, 3 touchdowns, and interception, but he suffered a broken bone in his ankle and will be out for the remainder of the year, obviously. And they are set to start Jarrett Stidham against the New England Patriots next week.
Which, because I did catch most of that game, and I don't know when that happened to him. He didn't show any signs of limping, so I don't know if I mean, yeah. When I heard that he was out, I was like, wait a minute, when did he get hurt? I was watching majority of that game. I didn't see him get hurt. Yeah, I mean, that threw me off.
I think Sean Payton said the second to last play of overtime, uh, maybe the adrenaline was so high that he didn't really feel it. I don't know, but he will not be playing
Possibility.
this upcoming week or for the foreseeable future because he just got the operation done on his foot. Will Lutz was able to hit the game-winning 23-yard field goal to send them to the conference championship game. And like I said, the outcome of this game led to the Bills firing head coach Sean McDermott. after a nice tenure there. He was definitely regular season successful, and but could not get under the playoffs. Again, like I said, this year was probably the best year for the Bills to make it to the playoffs, or sorry, to the Super Bowl, just because of there was no Pat Mahomes, no Lamar, no Joe Burrow standing in his way, and he wasn't able to get it done. And I point to those for four turnovers as a big reason why they lost this game, coming out of Josh Allen. So, uh, Broncos, I'm not shocked that they won this game. I think I picked them in a few of the brackets that I did to win this game because, um, I think that defense is really good, and Bo Nix, he can definitely. I think people can say that he's definitely one of those guys that that can get it done in the big spots, and he's proved it time and time again. So, what are your thoughts on this game other than the Bo Nix injury?
Um, it was a very sloppy game from what I saw on Buffalo's part. There was a lot of just, I don't want to say the weather played a part of it, but you could tell they, for a team that's synonymous with cold weather, the fact that they struggled in Denver just says that either they wasn't prepared or they just took this game lightly and think, oh well, we're Buffalo. We got a second year quarterback. We could, just you know force our will on them. Well, yeah, that didn't work. So yeah, I mean, I think it's time to blow up that team, and I'm not saying start completely over, but at least revamp it so it's to a way that you can actually make it to the Super Bowl, because there should have been no excuse for them to not advance past the Broncos.
Yeah, there's been a lot of years of missed opportunities and everything. I understand you run into Pat Mahomes, and there's sometimes nothing that you can do. I think Josh Allen plays really well against him. His defense does let him down a lot. But even in the first round, they barely beat the Jags, um, which to me I think should have been almost a blowout. I understand that the Jags are playing good. They're definitely a better team under Liam Cohen, which I've said. But I don't know. If you're the Bills, you're so supposed to impose your will, but that defense isn't really the most empowering defense. And the wide receiver core that they give him, being Josh Allen year in and year out, is not the best and most stellar wide receiver group. Let's be honest, his best targets are the tight ends and Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. And Keon Coleman wants to act like a child. And the GM said that he wasn't happy with drafting him. The coaches were very heavily wanting to draft him. I do want to ask, do you think it was right for them to fire Sean McDermott? I understand that someone needs to take the fall for their continued failures in people's opinion, but I don't know if he was the one to let go in that situation.
Um, I don't think so. But like you said, somebody has to take the fall, and the GM's not going to fire himself. So unfortunately, Sean McDermott was the one that had to take the fall for it. Um, to me, I think is, I mean, if anything, I would have started with the defensive coordinators, because the defense struggled a lot throughout the year.
Hmm.
Unless Sean McDermott was actually calling the defensive plays. I mean, he's the one that's those are the ones that should have been, let go. But I get it. You want to send a message. Okay, we had him here for this many years. We keep coming up short. There's always some form of reason why we come. Whether it's the turnovers, the defense can't make a stop, or whatever it is. At some point you gotta. I guess you gotta say, let's look in a different direction. I mean, it's the same thing that happened with the Ravens. Whoever thought the Ravens would fire John Harbaugh?
I didn't think so, but it's just like, yeah, it's the continued disappointment. Like I get it. I understand why they fired him, but I don't know. Again, maybe they just need to refresh a little bit because they're building a new stadium next year, and then they'll be under a new head coach. So we'll see. Um, but I think there's more changes that need to happen with them. Just not just the head coach. I think there's a bit more issues there than just that.
I agree.
Now here comes the sleeper game of the entire weekend: the Niners and the Seahawks. It was 6-41. The Seahawks took the opening kickoff for a touchdown, which was enough points to beat the Niners already, but they decided to put 35 more points up on them anyway. Um, the Niners couldn't do anything offensively. Brock Purdy only 140 passing yards. He had an interception and a fumble. CMC was held to almost nothing. He had 11 carries for 35 yards, 5 receptions for 39 yards. And the leading receiver was Jake Tonjes with 5 receptions for 59 yards. Sam Darnold didn't need to have a crazy game. No, this is actually the kind of game that the Seahawks need to have, not have him with the ball in his hand too much. 12 for 17, 124 yards and a touchdown. But Kenneth Walker went absolutely crazy. He went 19 carries for 116 yards, three touchdowns. That was an amazing game from Kenneth Walker. Uh, Cooper Kupp had 60 receiving yards, and Jack Smith and Jigba had 3 receptions for 19 yards. But this game also for the Seahawks came at a price. Their backup running back and very good backup running back, Zach Charbonnet, he tore his ACL, so he'll be out for the next foreseeable future. Him and Kenneth Walker are definitely a very good 1-2 combo punch to have, and not have that now in the playoffs is going to hurt them, I think, a little bit. But not much on this game, really. I mean, the Seahawks really dominated this game from really the jump, and and they showed their will with the home field advantage, and that place was absolutely crazy. And the Niners couldn't really do anything against them, especially after that kickoff return from Rashid Shaheed. So again, Niners think all their injuries finally caught up to them. They I think I've seen a team get injured as much as they did this year. This is crazy for them to even make it this far, with having Mac Jones as the starting quarterback at a certain point. And again, that just points to the head coach and Shanahan. He just had people ready to just get out there and play. So again, Seahawks move on to the conference championship game in dominating fashion.
Yeah, I really don't have much on this game. I literally turned this game off at halftime. I was like, this is. I mean, it was kind of unfair. It was like an NFL team on the field versus a semi-pro team with all the injuries that San Fran had, and I mean, there was just. I mean, they really literally couldn't do. They couldn't run the ball. Um, CMC. I mean, yeah, he's a great athlete, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna need more than him, and they literally eliminated everybody else. That Seattle defense kind of does remind me of the Legion of Boom. But this team hits a little. Well, the Legion of Boom hit harder,
Mm,
but this team, I mean, there's not. I don't. There's literally not one weakness anywhere on that defense.
no, and they fly all over the field. They are everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, unlike the just like the Texans, who we'll talk about later as well. I mean, they're another one that flies all over the team. Those are the defenses that you know. I mean, even New England,
Hmm.
they all three of those teams that have same mentality of everybody to the ball, and that's a mentality that's going to win one of those teams a championship. Well,
Hmm.
not Houston.
And again, that home field advantage is felt in Seattle. It is
Yes.
loud. It is crazy. And again, it didn't help that the Niners gave up a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown on the opening
Yeah.
kickoff. So that just riled up the entire crowd for the whole rest of the game. So
Yeah, you cannot let the crowd get, especially that crowd, get
mhm.
into the game on an opening kickoff because now you're. I mean, there's nothing you can do because that crowd is
No.
going to just be relentless. So yeah, that I mean, when I saw that, I was like, oh shit! I go, this is going to be a long night for San Fran.
And again, credit to them and their coaching staffs to have everybody ready this entire year with the amount of injuries that they had. So, um,
Yeah, they literally was a team that believed in the motto "next man up."
yeah, and it was impressive again with having Mac Jones as their starter for a few weeks there in the season, and they were able to win with the amount of injuries that they had. So, oh yeah, and they had Kittle out, Purdy out, and I think like two offensive linemen out at one point, and they were still winning games. So
And then you also have Fred
props,
Warner was out too.
yeah, like they just props to them to making it this far. Um, and the Seahawks did what they were supposed to do, which was dominate this game. So again, speaking of the Texans, we got Texans and Patriots. The game was 16-28. CJ Stroud had 4 interceptions. Your boy CJ Stroud did not look good in this game at all. Uh, and then Woody Marks, their running back, had a fumble as well. So they had 5 turnovers as a team. Jaden Higgins, 6 receptions for 59 yards. Notice how I didn't mention Nico Collins. Nico Collins didn't play because he had a concussion. So that could have led to maybe some of the turnovers. He wasn't throwing to his number one target. But so 4 interceptions is not a good thing for CJ Stroud and the Texans. Um,
Well, I don't know if you watched the game.
it was a sloppy
Um,
game. It was bad.
the weather played big part of it because there was 8 total turnovers in the game altogether. Because Drake May couldn't hold on to the ball, he was getting strip sacked left and right. But especially the interceptions, it's like he was throwing, he was late on some of them, and then there was some that just hit the receivers in the hands and was picked right off.
Yeah, the wet games, the sloppy games really make for kind of bad football and ugly football. I mean, like you said, Drake May, he had 3 turnovers himself, with a touchdown, or sorry, with an interception and 2 fumbles. We had 179 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Um, where Ramondre Stevenson had so many yards rushing, and Keyshawn Booty, Stephon Diggs, and Demario Douglas all had a receiving touchdown. This was a good game. It was a good game. As much as it was sloppy, and it was a very turnover heavy game. It showed that these defenses are very elite and they could stop each other or stop each other's offense with the pressure that they can bring, and again, like you said, they fly all around the field. Like these two defenses are just absolutely just ball hawking. Um, and to me, it goes to the credit of the two head coaches, Miko Ryans and Mike Vrabel. But I think Mike Vrabel was probably the best head coaching hire from the last head coaching cycle. Because look at what this team has become with him. The Titans were absolute idiots forever letting him go, forever firing him. And now look at him; he's in the AFC Championship game um, with the Patriots. Again, Texans just couldn't really get it done. Again, it was a sloppy game. Uh, but yeah, I mean, again, it was another great season, And Miko Ryans had them ready to play each and every week, and it showed because CJ Stroud, let's be honest, he didn't have really eye popping games all the time. It was that defense that was absolutely insane for them each and every game.
Well, it also doesn't help when your two leading targets are out,
Hmm.
and then you're working with basically a running game which they couldn't get going until the second half. You was down to your fourth or fifth string tight ends. So yeah, I mean, offensively they was pretty much handcuffed, but still, they're. I mean, just I mean, like they said, his first three seasons in the league, he wins the division, wins the wild card game, and then comes to the divisional game and fall apart. So I mean, part of this is on CJ show. I mean, I know some of the commentators was like, maybe somebody should pull CJ Stroud into a room and find out where his head was at because you could see the dejection on his face. Like he literally had no answer for anything.
Hmm.
So I mean, I like CJ Stroud, that, but I think he needs to. I mean, find that. I mean, I hate to say the combinations, but like Pat Mahomes or Tom Brady or Joe Montana, instinct where that toughness, where it's like, okay, I made this mistake. All right, no problem. Let's go again.
Yeah, it was almost like it was in his head.
Exactly.
That's like every turnover, it was like in his head. Um, but yeah, I mean, again, he's still young. Again, like you said, 3 years in the league, he's been very successful in his 3 years in the league. So, his future is so bright there with the Texans. He'll only just keep getting better. And on to the last game. What a game. Rams and Bears.
Whew.
Yeah, 20-17. Had to go into overtime. Matthew Stafford didn't have a touchdown, but he did throw for 258 yards. Kyren Williams had the two rushing touchdowns on 87 yards. Nakua had 56 receiving yards. Harrison Mevis nailed the game-winning 42-yard field goal in overtime. Caleb Williams didn't play his best game, but he helped the comeback. He had three interceptions, but he also had two touchdowns. The absolute crazy touchdown to Cole Kmet, where he was just running backwards and just lofted up in the air, and there you go, touchdown. Um, you're good. I know that you need. Uh, I could see that you're going to say something. Like you were ready to just say something. You good. You good.
Um, the one thing I do want to say was that last interception in overtime. I I don't want to blame Caleb Williams for that one. That looks like it was more of DJ Moore misreading the play because the defender broke before DJ Moore did. So it's like DJ Moore was, to me, it felt like DJ Moore thought he wasn't even getting the ball, and he was just running through the motions. And then next thing you know, he just happened to look up. Oh shit! There's the ball. Oh no, not for me now. Um, but that last play where that play made him look like a young Aaron Rodgers because we've seen him do that plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people was going to try to say, well, it was offensive pass interference. He pushed off. No, he did not push off. Even the head official, even NFL official, even said, he goes, it was a clean push. He didn't push off. He just stuck his, extended his arms to get separation. And with a pass like that up in the air like that, you really don't know where the ball's actually going to float to. Because remember, it's in Chicago. It was cold as
Mm-hmm.
shit, windy as shit. So I mean, it was just a great play by all the way around. Um, Chicago definitely have nothing to have their head low on. They had an amazing season. Ben Johnson, he should win Coach of the Year, but it's going to be very close. And Caleb Williams should be the comeback player of the year.
I like those takes because people left this guy for dead. They're like, "Oh, he's not that. He's not that." Um, a lot of people tell me that. A few guys at work, they're like, "Oh, he's just not that." I'm like, he's already had two head coaches and he's a year in. Can we relax, please? And as soon as I got Ben Johnson, I was like, this is gonna be a different year. I think you can look back at every episode this year. I've said it time and time again. This was like the perfect match for Caleb Williams, and I'm not going to keep harping on it, but Ben Johnson started from the ground up with him. You could see the improvement week after week after week after week with him, and the more confidence he got in his game to just go out there and be free and just let loose. They did have times where they struggled in the first half, but they were able to come back and win the game, which the Bears teams in year past, when they get down, that ain't happening. It's like, all right, we lost, whatever. On to the next. But they have a belief. Ben Johnson has them believing. And like you said, there's nothing to have their head down. That they made it all the way here in year one with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. Never mind what these next couple years can be with these two. And again, they went against, to me, I think it's a toss up between the Seahawks and the Rams. But to me, it's the Rams that are the Super Bowl favorite. And they only lost by 3. So, that Bears defense finally kind of showed up and was able to stop the opponent, and the Bears almost won. So, again, they have nothing to be ashamed about. They made it this far. It was a great game. And Caleb, with that touchdown pass, I don't want to sound too crazy, but that will be remembered by Bears fans for a very, very, very long time.
Yes, they
Because they
will.
almost won that game because of it. On the Rams side, again, I kind of expected them to win the game, but not be this close. I thought this game was kind of going to be uh, not a blowout, but I thought they were going to at least win by double digits. But that they got it done when they needed to. Stafford and everybody locked in when they needed to get the ball down the field, and rookie kicker Harrison Mevis made that game-winning 40-yard field goal. I don't know if you have anything else on the game or not.
Oh no, I mean, like I said, I was high on Chicago from the beginning of the start of the season. I had them as one of my sleeper teams. I mean, I didn't expect them to be this good, but yeah, I mean, as long as they bring the core unit back for next season, get some more help. Um, they got to figure out the defense. I mean, they need to get off to better starts when the game starts because this, wait until the third quarter. I mean, the fourth quarter to become, an offensive juggernaut is not going to always work. So we'll see. At the, Bears fans, hold your head up. I mean, a lot of people didn't even have your team even sniffing the playoffs. Yeah, a lot of fans already had Caleb Williams out of town.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I
I
just hope
mean,
it's not a kind of Washington Commanders that they were last year. I hope that it's not the exact same. I don't think it will be because I really have a lot of faith in Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson should have been a head coach a long time ago, but you know, he is one now and Williams is really thriving underneath him. Um all right. Now the head coaching news. I know again you have a lot to say on this first one that came out this week. Atlanta hired former Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski as their new head coach. Um, he goes to a team with a lot of talent, but a team that didn't really know what to do with that said talent. Um, yeah, I don't know how he was able to get thrusted into this head coaching job that quickly. Um, I understand that with the Browns, there wasn't much there as far as talent at the QB spot. It was mostly, Myles Garrett's team, and he was a defensive player. So maybe again a fresh start, but I don't know about this hire for Atlanta. But I mean, I guess we will see. Again, I know that you have a lot of to say on this one, so I'm not going to take much of the time. I'll let you go ahead and say it.
okay. Question number one: Atlanta Falcons. Did you not realize what coaches was available? Did y'all think this was like a rough year? Yes, granted, Mike Tomlin wasn't coming out of wasn't going to come coach this next year. He already made that clear. Okay, we get that. But I can name five coaches right now that's better than Kevin Stefanski that you could have hired. Now, granted, my Giants beat you to John Harbaugh. Sorry, sucks to be you guys. But I mean, you could have. I mean, as much as we shit on Mike McDaniel's in Miami, you could have taken Mike McDaniel's over Kevin Stefanski.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who else got fired?
I mean, they could have waited. They didn't need to go that quick because you
That
just
too.
think only 2 days later, Sean McDermott got fired.
Yep, you could have waited for Sean McDermott.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Now, I would have
Robert
loved to see.
Saleh.
I would have loved to see. Excuse me. I would have loved to see Sean McDermott in Atlanta with that team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Robert Saleh got fired, or he got hired by Tennessee. Uh,
That's gonna be a joke.
again, there's opportunities. You could have waited till the offseason. Just just wait. But they were so fucking gung ho to go get Kevin Stefanski, which I do not know why.
I don't know why either.
This one puzzles me. Again, I've been like excited to hear your opinion on you guys getting John Harbaugh. I've been excited to hear from you and want your thoughts on this. I think this is obviously an amazing hire. If anyone says otherwise, I think they're really kind of dumb. The amount of talent, young talent with this Giants team, they just got to come back healthy, with the injuries that they did suffer. But I want your opinion on this hire of John Harbaugh.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard about it, I was kind of skeptical. I was like, well, "Why are we doing this so quickly?" You know, let's just wait and see what's good. Who else is getting let go, or and then when I seen the following week Mike Tomlin resigned, and I was like, "Oh yes, this is great. We could go after either one of those two." But then come to find out, Mike Tomlin was basically say he's not taking any more coaching jobs. Um, and then the fact that after one visit, there was already an offer for 4 years, 100 mil. I think it was 4 years, 100 million. And I'm curious to see how this is going to work because John Harbaugh is the type of person, he's like Bill Belichick, where he wants complete control of everything. He wants to pick his players, gets his people in and stuff like that. So I'm excited for the players because now they're getting some form of stability. I mean, you got a Super Bowl winning coach. He was there. I mean, 18 years with the Ravens. So I mean, yeah, it's I can't wait for the season to start for the players to get healthy because you've seen what he did with Lamar Jackson, who was a beast. Now Jackson's dart is not on the level of Lamar Jackson, but I mean, still.
Yeah, because again, he's a dual threat quarterback, just like Lamar. So a lot to be excited about. And this just in, actually, about 15 minutes ago, the Vikings have signed defensive coordinator Brian Flores to a new contract extension, which eliminates him from going after the Steelers head coaching job, which he has interviewed twice for. Um, just wanted to say that one because again, Steelers were. I think they had 2 interviews with Flores already for the
That would
head
have been
coaching
a nice
spot.
hire for Pittsburgh.
What?
That would have been a nice hire for Pittsburgh.
I know. We just had a head coaching interview with Mike McCarthy in person.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I trust whoever they think to hire because there's a lot. Again, there's a lot of good names out there. There's a lot of good names out there still. Sean McDermott, like we said, Mike McCarthy wouldn't be a bad one. He is from Pittsburgh, so that'd be a cool thing to have him there. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. But that like just happened again, like I said, about 15 minutes ago, which I was kind of excited to maybe get Brian Flores, but it's all right. He's a great DC, and Minnesota loves him for a good reason. Like we said, on the 19th, the Bills fired Sean McDermott. The Lions hired former Arizona offensive coordinator Drew Petzing as their new offensive coordinator. I think anybody will be better if you just know how to use Gibbs and Amon Ra, then you should be a good OC. But I don't know what
Pretty
that
much.
other one was doing. The big news out of Miami, they hired former Green Bay defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley as their new head coach. Very interesting hire. Um, Obviously a defensive-minded head coach, which could be very helpful to them and their defense, which was not that great this year. And like I said, Tennessee hired defensive coordinator Robert Saleh as their new head coach. Um, Obviously, people remember Salah as the Jets laughing stock, but that team was not ever that good to me. So it's like, what are you gonna do with that team? Um, it's almost like same thing with Tennessee, but they do have a lot of talent on the defensive end there. So I think that the defense will get better and will be a better defense with him. But he needs to see how to use Cam Ward and maybe get some more talent around him uh, so he could be successful. I don't know if you have anything on the hires that I just said. Lions, Miami, and Tennessee.
No, not really.
And the Chargers, just yesterday, they hired former Miami Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel as their new OC. That'll be very, very fun to watch with him and Justin Herbert. Uh, if they can ever keep him upright in front of or behind an offensive line, that'd be very helpful to him. And it's
Yeah,
a sad
that
day
one,
for. Sorry,
that one kind of,
sorry.
that one kind of had me questioning a little bit.
Why is that?
I mean, he didn't do well with Tua Tagovailoa keeping him upright. I mean, yeah, San Diego, yeah, they have a better offensive line, but you can still run into the same issues.
Hmm.
So unless they
But
could build that offensive line better, you're pretty much going to be dealing with the same thing.
but again, I don't. McDaniels doesn't have to be the head coach. He just has to be the OC. Harbaugh is the head coach. So I think that'll work because Harbaugh and him, I think, will mesh well, and then him and Herbert will mesh well as well. Um, and then it's a sad day for Steelers Nation. Tampa Bay hired former Pittsburgh special teams coordinator Danny Smith, the the Captain Gumtour himself, as their new special teams coordinator. So, after 13 years with the Steelers, Danny Smith has moved on to the Buccaneers. Um, that's all the head coaching stuff. I mean, me and Tony were talking before we got on the air. Um, how we think it'll be within the next week. There's going to be a lot of head coaching news that we will be able to talk about next week because we're all just kind of waiting for all these head coaches to kind of fall into place. Um, and then we're gonna now predict the matchups. It is Rams Seahawks, Broncos Patriots. I got the Rams winning against the Seahawks. People might not like that one. I understand the Seahawks are at home. Legion of Boom 2.0 maybe. But I believe more in Matthew Stafford than I do Sam Darnold. That's
Um,
what it comes down to for me. Um, I think it's going to be a very good game, like it was in the last time they played. But I trust Matt Stafford and Sean McVay over Sam Darnold right now.
I got to go with Seattle. I mean, that dark side defense is just they're clicking right now. They're on all hitting on all cylinders. It's going to take a miraculous effort from the Rams offense to just get points on the board. That defense right now is just like I said. I mean, they only allow 17 points a game, and they're just hitting on all cylinders. I can't go against their defense. Not in home. If it was in L.A., that'd be a different story. But that defense at home, Yeah, I can't go against it.
Yeah, it's tough. It's two good defenses. Obviously, one is better than the other, but to me, the one quarterback is better than the other. That's again why I trust Stafford over Darnold. Um, and the Broncos and the Patriots, due to the quarterback who's going to be starting for the Broncos and Darius Stidham, I'm going to go with the Patriots. It could be
Same
a
here.
trap game. It could be a trap game for them, but I think Mike Vrabel is going to have that team just ready to play no matter who is starting for the Broncos. Uh, Mike Vrabel doesn't seem like the kind of head coach that will just let his team just undermine anybody in the league. Um, but yeah, with the Patriots at home, I got to go with them. And the Broncos are just it's a tough situation, having Stidham start. It's like his fourth career start, and and it's gonna be in the AFC Championship game. So a tough hill to climb for them. So I got to go with the Patriots.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Patriots on this one too. I mean, it's just yeah, you're putting a basically a rookie quarterback in the most intense pressure situation where you're asking him to basically take us to the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
I know Sean Payton is great with quarterbacks, but yeah, yeah, not this time, buddy.
No, like that's a different animal. It's just completely different than a lot of other things. I saw some. Stidham took one snap this year, and it was a kneel down at the end of a game. Like this is, I think, going to be kind of ugly of a game. This is not going to be a pretty game to watch. But who knows? It's the NFL. Anything can happen.
This is true, but I'm still going with New England.
Yeah, me too. I'm not going against them. Uh, that's it. That's all I got.
Holy shit, that's a first.
Hmm.
Well, usually towards the end of the NFL season, we always end up being under an hour.
Yeah, there's really not much to go over. Again, with Pittsburgh, I'm not going to harp on everything too much because it's been over a week. You know, if I was going to get mad, it would have been last week about what happened and how the game ended. But um, I'm kind of excited for a fresh start. I know I was like, oh, I don't really want to get rid of Tomlin. I'm excited for a fresh start and what we can get out there again with what we just said and the head coaches that are just not even just head coaches, but the coaches that are out there that have a lot of potential to be suited for us. Um, and yeah, just excited for what could happen. It doesn't hurt to start new.
Yeah, I know the only thing that happened in the NBA was your boy Jimmy Butler got injured, is out for the season.
Yeah, no, he tore his ACL. That was tough, and of course it was against the Heat as well. Of course it was. Um, I've said it a few times on here. I don't blame him for getting sick and tired of being on the Heat. Pat Riley wasn't really doing anything to move the needle for him, and he's getting older. And he wants to win a championship. And there's very few guys in the league that I just want to see win a championship, and he's one of them with what he did for us. So get get well soon, Jimmy. I hope that he makes a good recovery. Uh, and has a chance to win a championship sometime soon.
So yeah, that's all we got for the night.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, don't forget to check out our sponsor Doobie for all you gamers that love staying up late nights. They made the energy drink energy drink powder for just specifically for you guys to give you that late night boost of energy when you gaming or just in the middle of a 48 session that some of you guys do. They have great products. If you do, order anything, just use our discount code Drop Zone and you get 10% off. We also have our store, zoneelitewear.com, where if you order over $35 and you use our promo code Drop Zone, you get 15% off your entire order. So that's pretty much about it.
Yeah, we got some good products over there. Very good quality. So it's definitely worth getting, just a few drops on merch, and again, just use our code, and you'll get $15 or sorry, 15% off your order.
Let's see, anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Until next week, folks. See everybody later.
See ya.